Hello everybody, it's your girl Kritek, and what I really want to say is that this is my third time attempting to record this video. So I know, just like any other time, it's a message that I'm supposed to get out, and these demonic forces, I guess they want some work, right? Anywho, so this video, because I don't want to start it on a negative note, it's just I really had to reassess and just take a breather and even pray. And, because I literally went and told these people, is anyone going to need anything from me within, the next 45 minutes? And I told them not to disturb me, and an individual disturbed me anyhow, just completely disregarding my requests for their own selfish reasons. Anywho, we're going to get into this. The message for today is regarding the destructive nature of tarot. Karmic tarot readers on the Sacral Chakra, which is the seat of emotions, intuition, creativity. Those are the three prominent aspects of the Sacral Chakra that many of us are aware of. And I wanted to talk about how karmic tarot readers and balanced tarot readers are destructive. Is the concept of it is very destructive to the sacral chakra, because what exactly do my ancestors are just telling me to breathe through this, because people really don't want me to stand in my purpose. I have a lot of opposing forces around me while I'm going to get myself out of this hole that they're trying to suck me into when I am light. So they're trying to suck me into their darkness, and I refuse. I fucking refuse. And it's just really annoying when, your mind is focused on something and everything is flowing so perfectly, and then someone comes in and just interrupts you. Fuck whatever you got going on, right? That's okay, because we're going to transmute that energy into the passion, that I have in my heart. I'm telling you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out, because it's better to get it out and identify it, for you to heal from the situation. You have to release it, so I'm going to get this out. When I said I literally felt a fire in the pit of my stomach, probably I don't know if it was, it probably was my solar plexus, yes. When I said I felt a fire just brew out of, it's like it was just instantly, when this person interrupted me. And that's why I had to literally just sit here and breathe. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to work through it, because that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do, because this is spiritual warfare, and you can't be oblivious to the many faces of spiritual warfare, which is what just happened. But they can't win. It's a losing battle. So I appreciate you guys for bearing with me, because we were already 5 minutes in, and we haven't really even gotten to the message. So let's go ahead and get to that. All right. Now, what exactly are, the beneficiaries of tarot? Many of us, we look into tarot to gain a deeper insight into things that our emotions may have picked up on, that our intuition may have picked up on, or things that we may be oblivious to, unveiling illusions, that Neptunian energy. And we're going to get into all that as it relates to the age of Aquarius and this, this movement, us needing to literally bring this to a screeching halt, the codependency to tarot and these tarot readers who, put out the type of content that keeps people in cyclical behaviors that are, that only manifest into like limiting, just limitations within that individual spiritual self, your chakra systems and stuff like that, especially the sacral chakra. Now, already, see, okay, I'm going to accept how this goes because, there was other things I said in the other video, it's just the whole order was just, I don't know, I feel like it was organized better, but everything happens for a reason. What I was going to say just now, then I'm going to jump back to what I thought of, is that especially as melanated women, we hold on to a lot of debris, trauma, abuse, grudges, resentment, bitterness, pain, betrayal, distrust. We hold a lot of that in our sacral chakra, which is the second chakra out of the 7 main chakras, and is sandwiched in between the solar plexus and the root chakra, which the root chakra is basically about your security, your sense of security, your stability within self, whether, that be like the deeper aspects of you, like your spiritual security as well, not just your physical. And then with the solar plexus, it's about, your willpower, your will to do, to carry something out, that resilience. But as we understand, to every chakra system, there's like a spectrum depending on the situation and the individual, depending on if, people are actually doing the work, like shadow work and healing themselves and actually boosting these energy systems within themselves. Because if you think about it, let's consider if you have an orange bar of the sacral chakra, and from one end to the other, beginning is a deep, a deep saturation of orange. And then as it goes down that line, it fades, right? It either lightens or it fades. So that's what I mean by the spectrum of not zodiacs, but that's what I mean, because I'm used to telling people that there's a spectrum to every zodiac. Anyway, all zodiacs are not the same. All right, but let's focus. So as that line, that bar, that energy level, as it extends, that orange, that deep saturated orange begins to fade or lighten. And that's like a visualization of where you are within that energy system, whether you're imbalanced, whether it's over, like you're too excessive in that energy, or being balanced, right? Because that's what we want to do. The idea, the goal is to be balanced in all of our chakras. The goal is to be balanced in all of our bodies. The goal is to be balanced within our feminine and masculine energy, right? That's how we're able to clearly manifest things, into reality that, that we actually deserve, that are healthy, not just for us, but it's going to contribute to the collective energy. So the sacral chakra, the element of the sacral chakra is water. So once again, talking about emotions, intuition, the moon card, and the moon within itself, moonstone, unakite, citrine, these different stones, that are related to the sacral chakra. So once again, that water, let's think about water, right? If I had a glass of water and I was to speak into that water, I'm sure many of you are familiar with that experiment with the different glasses of water, and affirmations are different things spoken into those water, and then examining the crystallization of the water, like microscopically, and how you could see very profound differences in the crystallizations of each water, or the lack thereof. So once again, water, because we can really go deep into this. Water freezes into ice. Water can get really hot, like a very boiling point. Water can be warm. Water can be chill, Water can be still, but also can flow and, be all over the place, considering waves at the beach and stuff like that. So water can be influenced. Water is vulnerable to being influenced, in different ways. Water can be polluted. You can put things into water to pollute water. You can add things to water to increase, the benefits of that water, or to purify that water. You can put water through a system to purify it, There's just all these different aspects of water, whether it's floods, rain, drizzle, or, all of that. So understanding how malleable water is, we have to be conscious of how we can be being manipulated by these karmic tarot readers who are manipulating our emotions so that we can continue to support them financially or energetically, because emotions is energy in motion. And wherever you set your intentions, or you're investing your energy, your attention, and your time into, you're giving energy to that individual, entity, situation, organization, place, whatever, people, place, or thing. With that being said, you have to understand, once again, there's a polarity to everything. There's, like a dark side and a good side, basically. And unfortunately, people abuse tarot for their own selfish reasons, just like I was interrupted for that person's own selfish reasons. And it was like very materialistic. It wasn't relevant at all, to be honest. And they ended up not even wanting my opinion. So that's how I know that was just an entity within that person trying to interrupt this video. Anyhow, so Neptune. Okay, before I go into Neptune, consider the current astrological planetary arrangements and transits, and how it relates to, or how it affects what's currently going on in tarot land. And not just that, today started Mercury retrograde, and now this is going to be Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So the mental, right? Mental energy. So also, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Neptune is currently positioned in Pisces. It's home, right? It's home zodiac. So with that being said, Pisces is a water sign, yes? So Neptune, and I apologize, you guys, because this is not going in the order that I intended, but everything happens for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidences. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Neptune actually has water on the planet. So Neptune has 4 layers. So whenever you go, and if you was to search, how many layers does Earth have? The Earth has 3 layers. I'm going to go deeper into that. How many layers does the moon have? The moon has 3 layers. How many layers does Neptune have? Neptune has 4 layers. How many layers does the sun have? The sun has 3 layers, right? The sacral chakra. Where is the sacral chakra in women? Where is the sacral chakra located? The womb space, correct? What is the womb? Your uterus. How many layers is it to a uterus? 3. So once again, making that connection to the earth, fertility, the nurturer, reproduction. The moon, emotions, intuition, insight. The sun, enlightenment, spirit, passion, whatever the case may be. So, and not just that, you know, the sun is very neutralizing. The sun is very detoxing. Like, it's detoxifying to our bodies itself. So, I want you guys to keep all this stuff in mind. So, going back to Neptune having 4 layers, that one extra layer opposed to moon, sun, and earth. And we could connect the moon, sun, and earth to the sacral chakra easily. Now, with that extra layer, bear with me here. So we know that Neptune is known, it's like the planet of illusions. That's what it's, you know, really known for, because of the outer atmosphere and, you know, the depths, the depths of Neptune. See now, motherfuckers gonna mess with my throat chakra, right? Anyway, but even right now, like, I already had all this stuff so I don't know. Alright, I do know what's going on, the interference. So anyway, alright, so these are words associated with Neptune as far as its characteristics and qualities: unboundedness, dissolution, inspiration, illusion, ecstasy, romantic love, escapism. Please check out my escapism video that I posted, I believe, on yesterday. Or whenever this video posts. It's like a couple days ago. Escapism, enlightenment, addiction, tarot addiction, nebulousness, glamour, deception, mysticism, disintegration, impressionability, being impressionable, confusion, see, guilt, intangible sacrifice, and they listed glamour again. Okay. Neptune's surface is diffuse and deceptive. It wears a veil of illusion that is impossible to penetrate. Now, once again, why do all of this matter, right? That's because it matters because of the current astrological transits. I'm busy. Sure, but I'm busy. Please don't, please. I'm recording something. That's the second interruption. I'm sorry, you guys. But I'm not, I refuse to cut this video because the other one, I cut it and I'm not going to do that. So I just really hope you guys can see the pureness, where I'm coming from with this, and just bear with me. But I know the real recognize real, so I don't even have to explain that. Anywho, now what I'm going to list here, boom, there we go. There we go. So, this is so crucial, you guys, to understand what's really going on and really and understand, when I say, these demons are really, going rampant right now, this person literally just walked past my door and just made an unnecessary remark just to get a reaction out of me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, as I said in one of my other videos about enemies masked as family and friends, the people who have greater access to you whether that be people you were friends with, once friends with, family members, whoever the case may be, they have greater access to you than a stranger would. So they're going to be conduits of evil against you, especially when you're standing for a divine purpose that, you know, they don't even care to, you know, explore or learn about themselves. So you're going to have to deal with situations like that. And yeah, I understand what it is, so it's fine. So, the urge to transcend. Like I said, I'm going to list labels that's in this little portion about Neptune. The urge to transcend and the possibility of a victim, martyr, savior complex. Addictions, you know, that type of thing is all possible, highly possible, when Neptune is at play here. Now, going back to, like I said, understanding the current transits and how that affects you. It affects our reality. It literally structures and governs our reality. So we have to pay attention to this. Now, consider how long you've been in tarot, or you've been watching tarot, or maybe you got your favorite tarot readers, because not all of them are, you know, bad. Not all of them are karmic. And, you know, some karmics are, you know, realizing, seeing themselves and actually shifting, you know, and understanding what tarot really needs to be used for, like to heal, you know, to, you know, that type of thing, to uplift consciousness, to help individual transcend past, you know, limiting beliefs and, you know, behaviors and attitudes and patterns and cycles, you know, and all of that stuff, right? Getting to the core of ourselves, you know, so that we, you know, we can literally become whole and master who we are, heal our chakra system so that we can, you know, call in or better manifest in what we need and what we desire, what we deserve, you know, not continuing to allow boundless behaviors or things that we know we don't deserve make us feel bad, or make us, you know, it really pulls on our energy, pulls away from our energy, you know, that could be used towards something much better. This video is probably going to be long because like I said, like I'm literally fighting right now spiritually as I'm putting this message out. So once again, here's the thing. Now we're in Mercury retrograde, yes, and Saturn is currently in Aquarius, right? Neptune is in Pisces right now. So if Neptune's exaltation is in Leo, yet its fall is in Aquarius, what exactly does that mean? Its fall is in Aquarius. Its exaltation is in Leo. This is the age of Aquarius. Even though Neptune may not be positioned in the zodiac of Aquarius at this time, there's still influence from the Saturn in Aquarius, you know, the age of Aquarius energy, you know, that air element, and how, you know, it affects, or how it's, you know, merged with that Neptunian energy. Now, I want you to listen to Neptune characteristics. Neptune-attuned people possess glamour in the old sense of the word, the ability to bewitch. They are also impossible to categorize or pin down, demonstrating the planet's elusive quality, lacking strong boundaries. Neptune-attuned people are susceptible to outside influences. They may feel alienated or isolated in an uncaring world, or may be saints or gurus or ordinary people with an artistic or musical vision. Neptune is highly compassionate, ruling psychics, dreamers, as well as psychotics. But it is also the planet of illusion. So confident tricksters are included under this mantle. Traditionally, when well placed, the disposition is gentle and visionary, given to the arts and music. When poorly placed, the disposition is addictive, escapist, and prone to delusion. Now, once again, Let's talk about Neptune in Pisces, because that's currently where it is positioned. And it's going to be there, apparently, in this text, the approximate sign positions of Neptune currently, right? This apparently began 2011, and it's going to last. It's going to be there until 2025. Oh, consider all the illusions and all of the stuff, all of the such, all the things that we experience that, you know, we've been under within that time frame, you know, and as we move closer, you know, to it moving out of that position, because now we're in 2021, it's like the truth is like, you know, unveilings are becoming more on point, more accurate, basically. Like, the bullshit is basically being exposed. All right. So, this placement aspires to total merging, a return to the source. The danger lies in being unable to distinguish between escapism and true spiritual inspiration. Now, that's Neptune position in Pisces, which is where it's currently positioned right now. Okay? This is the physiology of Neptune. Cerebral spinal fluid, pineal gland, lymphatic and nervous systems, thalamus, spinal canal, mental processes, addictions, schizophrenia, psychosis, infectious diseases. Past life stumbling blocks. Failure to develop spiritually, displaying weaknesses, or practicing deception. These words are so small, you guys. Retreat into fantasy, misuse of psychic gifts. Misuse of psychic gifts. Now, bear with me. I am going somewhere with this, you guys. I literally have it. I have it all mapped out in front of me. But you're going to have to bear with me because, you know, that's when people interrupt your focus and your attention or whatever, it's intended to create confusion within yourself. It's intended to throw you off. So it's like you have to recalibrate yourself back to, you know, what that was. And don't worry, because that shit always backfires. But some people have to learn the hard way. Now, let's go back. Go ahead and get out everything I want to get out of this resource here. So, once again, I mentioned earlier Saturn, you know, with Saturn being in Aquarius, right? The Lord of Karma, the Lord of Karma. Saturn is the law of cause and effect in action. Life is not a random process, but it is based on the result of previous actions, the credits and deficits of the soul's journey. As such, Saturn embodies a balancing and shaping drive concerned with reparation and reward, recompense and fairness. Karmic justice says that if the soul is able to take responsibility for itself, it creates a positive future. If it cannot, like an accountability, it appears that punishment is inflicted by a vengeful God. Now listen. Karmic justice says that if the soul is able to take responsibility, your ability to respond, right? It creates a positive future. Now, Saturn is also the keeper of time as well as the shadow, right? Saturn represents the unacceptable shadow side of personality. It is all that is repressed and disowned, pushed down into the unconscious mind. Saturn stands at the boundary of the known and the unknown and offers insight that has to be hard won from the depths By accepting the despised qualities of the shadow, the soul becomes whole, freed from fear and self-condemnation. Saturn is happiest in maturity, when burdens and responsibilities weigh least. Age confers wisdom, the sagacity that develops through experience. Now, let's look at what Saturn looks like when it's positioned in Aquarius, right? Because that's currently where it is. Saturn in Aquarius. This placement follows a solitary path, often as a lone idealist, with rigid, although unconventional, views, or may fit awkwardly into society. Now, another thing we're going to look at is Saturn in water. Saturn, whenever is how Saturn affects water, like the water element, right? That's what we're going to look at. So I'm going to read Saturn in Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer just to solidify where I'm going with this message, right? All right, Saturn in Cancer. The security conscious placement clings firmly to the past as security, creating rigid boundaries to protect loved ones. Depression and moodiness are possible. All right, Saturn in Scorpio. This placement has strongly controlled or repressed emotions, highly secretive and reserved. It is resentful and extremely slow to forgive. Saturn in Pisces. As planet and sign are diametrically opposed in this placement, restrictions cause much frustration. Isolation is feared, as is fluidity. All right, so I'm going to read this about the element of water, balanced water and imbalanced water, right? So first off, we understand that water rules Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Is ruled by the planets Moon and Neptune, right? Water, intuition, illusion. It all goes hand in hand. See, it's like all right, I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go into that. All right. Type. Feeling. Polarity, negative, keywords, feelings, fluidity, cycles, passivity, sensitivity, empathy, reflection, compassion, imagination, intuition, and illusion. What is the element of the Sacral Chakra? Water. Water. So let's read that one more time. The keywords and associations with the element of water, right? Feelings, fluidity, cycles, passivity, being passive, sensitivity, empathy, reflection, compassion, imagination, intuition, and illusion. They literally have intuition and illusion side by side, you guys. All right. And it's not in, these words aren't listed in alphabetical order. That wasn't a coincidence. All right. Emotions, cleansing, empathy, smoothness, moisture, nurture, tree trunks or flower stem. All right. The physiology, lubrication, and cooling systems, lymph, blood, plasma, secretions. All right. Living in the emotions, water is the most subtle and sensitive of the elements. The three introspective water signs flow with their own inner rhythm, heeding the call of powerful emotions. Water is concerned with feeling cycles and fluctuations. Motivation is from within, often an unconscious reaction to an emotional stimulus. This is the least outwardly aware of the elements. and the most irrational. These are the artists and poets of the zodiac. Water sign people need to be needed, experiencing themselves most strongly through an exchange of emotions, attuned to delicate nuances. They can be dependent and vulnerable, sometimes misreading the signals through the bias of their own emotions. When water intuition works well, it assesses an inner level of knowing that goes beyond the usual five senses. This is the element of gut instinct, the sacral chakra, your second brain. Your gut is your second brain, your seat of emotions, the seat of intuition and creativity, right? Your second brain. In your mind, your mental energy, what do you do with your mind? You're able to visualize, you're whatever you think. You get what I'm saying? You can manifest thoughts. You have to think in your mind first before you speak what you're going to say. Now, if your gut, which is your sacral chakra, is considered the second brain, the gut instinct, there's supposed to be a connection there. It's supposed to be connected. It's not supposed to be one without the other. But if there's, debris and, unhealed trauma and, generational or toxic patterns or whatever, limiting beliefs, and, all of that stuff that you're holding there, what would you have to do? You have to clean it out in order for you to, in order for it to work the most accurately, basically. All right, so balanced water. Balanced water is calm, soft, gentle, sensitive, and empathetic, with a steady disposition. Harmony in this element translates as someone who is emotional but not ruled by emotions. Once again, karmic tarot readers are truly disruptive in nature to the sacral chakra of, their viewers or whatever the case may be. Because a lot of times the topics that's being focused on all the time, is based on fluid energy, is based on emotional energy, about what is this masculine doing, or, just all of that, instead of focusing on healing, because that's the thing about, especially Black women, that's the thing about holding our own, the transgressions that was done against us, and, betrayals, abuse, and all that stuff. It's one thing for us to hold on to that and be holding that in our womb. And then there's another thing when we have generations of women in our family who also, had their own troubles or whatever the case may be, grudges or whatever that they held in their womb, right? And pass that down their bloodline of women, right? So that's something else to consider. Have you thoroughly detoxed and cleansed all of that out? Have you really gone within yourself? What should be the focus here with tarot? What should be the real focus, right? You don't want to feel like you're being manipulated by your emotions just to support, somebody's selfish, reasons. Whether that's just finances or, like I said, energy harvesting, because you have to understand there are karmic tarot readers who energy harvest, off the reliance of people not being in touch with their own intuition, or with the reliance of people remaining imbalanced in their own emotions. Therefore, they're going to be imbalanced in their intuition and their creativity. So, of course, you'll be more susceptible or, accepting of what they're telling you if you're not even truly in touch with your own intuition, your own soul, and what your soul tells you, because you not having that balance between your emotions and your intuition. So, imbalanced water, excess water is excessively emotional. See, apprehensive, overly security conscious, self-indulgent, waterlogged, dreamy, sensuous, and often overweight. And overweight doesn't have to just be physical. Overweight can be, like, once again, what you're holding within, right? The weight on your heart, whatever the case may be. Deficient water leads to stiffness and inability to emphasize, lack of rhythm, and an absence of emotional connections. Without sufficient water, the emotions are detached, a condition that may be disguised as dispassionate objectivity. All right, and I'm going to read this little section they have for how the element looks in each water sign. So for Cancer, despite being an active cardinal sign, Cancer is most protective of the water signs. Sensing emotional and vulnerability, this caring sign is defensive and possessive. Scorpio reflects this fixed and unfathomable depths of instinctual emotion, but reveals little, like a deep, still pool. Pisces, a mutable sign, finds free expression in the water realm, moving with the tides of emotion, but finding it difficult to establish boundaries. Alright, so that's how we're gonna, I think that's how we're gonna take from this book right now. Let me see. Oh, I didn't even know they had a portion back here for love, but I may need to do that on another video. Yeah, we're gonna do that in another video. Also, the book that I'm referencing from at the moment is the Astrological Bible by Judy Hall. I was trying to debate if I wanted to read a little bit from the sun, but we're not going to do that. All right, so I took some notes here. So remember earlier when I mentioned how Earth, Moon, and the Sun have 3 layers, just as well as the womb. The woman's womb, the uterus, has 3 layers, which is the endometrium. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. The endometrium. What was it? Give me 1 second. Alright, so it's the endometrium, the myometrium, and the perimetrium. So 3 layers, right? Just like the moon. For we've known that women have been associated with the moon forever. We're affected by moon phases, you know. We're mostly composed of water. That's another thing to consider too, when considering how you may be being manipulated, you know, in this tarot community and not even realize it, because you're buying into illusions by confident tricksters, you know, like we mentioned, the influence of Neptune has on individuals, or whatever, if they have Neptune somewhere in their chart, wherever Neptune is in their chart, you get what I'm saying, and how it affects them, you know, depending on their lack of healing or transmutation, whatever they got going on, right? That's why you want to be real careful about who you're allowing to, you know, assist in guiding you, or whatever the case may be. People are very manipulative. But yes. So I took some notes. Now, did you ever know this? Now, going back to Earth and us, you know, Mercury retrograde. Okay, fuck it with me. The Earth is considered, it's like a representation of the womb, right? The aspect of, you know, that feminine nature, you know, that nurturing, that fertile nature, right? The thickness of the Earth's inner core is approximately 1,230 to 1,530 kilometers. Now, when we break down both of those numbers, this is what it adds up to, you guys. So 1,230, that's 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. To 1,530 kilometers, 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 6 and 9, as above, so below. So what's going on? Okay. The point is, we are so interconnected with, you know, life itself, like with the world, like with the universe and with the planets. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we need to evaluate these things and take these things into consideration whenever we consider our sacral space, our sacral chakra. So the inner core gives an orange radiance. Earth's inner core gives an orange radiance. So you have the main colors of these, you know, inside of Earth is yellow, orange, and red. What does that remind you of? The solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra. This is not a coincidence. Now, if you look at this, because I'm going to have to show you. If you look at this, you see how thick the orange layer is? Yes? Alright, so let's just take that into consideration. And that's why I have orange on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And, you know, got some citrine. I have on orange, you know, even using an orange highlighter, you know, in honor of today's topic, right? So, the fact, you know, that there's these connections, it really, you know, is really something to pay attention to. Yeah. Now, you'll see a familiar pattern with the sun, right? So here's the sun right here. You see a familiar pattern here? See how thick that orange layer, inner layer is? Yeah. So, bear with me. I'm just making connections. Bear with me. Yeah, the moon has 3 layers, a crust, a mantle, and a core. Wow, I'm definitely seeing a recurring pattern here with all of the planets. So once again, that orange, that thick orange, you know, layer. All right. It's like the, ooh, all right. Yeah, give me 1 second here just to navigate myself through. All right, so another thing about the sacral chakra is, you know, it controls your sense of abundance, your well-being, pleasure, and your sexuality. And a mantra, a suggested mantra, sacral chakra mantra is, I always honor others, but not before myself, right? So are we, you get where I'm going with this? So going back to like the video with the karmic readers versus divine readers, you know, people who are actually using this this tool, you know, for divinity reasons, you know, like its intended purposes, you know, to heal, basically, to get to the bottom of things, to get to the core of, you know, what it is that's, you know, limiting us, you know, from truly ascending to our higher states of being, to our higher minds, our higher selves, right? And on this particular source, they say that the sacral chakra develops between 8 and 14 years old. Now, I made a video on sexual abuse and its effect, you know, like its intended purposes on divine beings, you know, star seeds and stuff like that. Now, personally, when I was sexually abused, I was at the age of 8 years old, and in that reading I said, you know, this may have happened around, because I can't remember what card came out. It was the 8 of swords. A lot of 8s came out in that reading, 7, 8, and 10. And so I was saying, so somewhere probably between 7 and 10 years old, this is probably when this happened to a lot of people, like when they were really, you know, abused. Now, I am aware that people were abused younger than that. I'm totally aware of that. But there's something significant. I always knew that there was something very significant about that time frame, right? And we already understand that children's brains are very malleable within that age frame as well. Their brains are very malleable. Now, your brain, you have two, your gut and here. So what else is being manipulated? It's not just the mind. It's not just what we're, you know, so used to understanding what the mind is, you know, the brain. No. Both is affected. So, all right. Now, I'm going to mention some ways and, you know, how you can boost the energy of your sacral chakra as well. But, I got so much information going here. All right. So yeah, I already said that about the difference in the shades of each chakra depending on the situation or the individual. Yeah, so the physiology associated with sacral chakra as well is the glands, the adrenals. So the sacral chakra often needs to be cleared of stuck energy from traumas and pent up emotions to heighten creativity and ability to express your true self. And the other term, I may pronounce this wrong, the sacral chakra is also known as the Savadhisthana, something like that. But in translation, it means the place of the self, right? So, sensitivity, intimacy, emotional well-being, self-expression. So when a person is balanced in their sacral chakra, it'll resemble being able to partake in pleasurable things life has to offer without overdoing them. And then the things that you take pleasure in, it should give you a sense of wellness and abundance. Like the food, the sex, the creative activities, whatever the case may be, it should add to your wellness. You know what I'm saying? To your wellness. So not fast food, and people not gonna want to hear this, but meat, dairy, processed foods and stuff like that. A lot of those things actually work against our sacral chakra and feeds into the imbalances that we experience. So an overactive sacral chakra looks like addiction, gluttony, enjoying things that aren't nourishing for your soul or healthy for you. So addiction, obesity, hormone imbalances, and restlessness. And basically asking, is this good for me? Is it healthy and nourishing? Does these pleasures benefit, or what are the benefits of the actions I'm about to take? Is it healing to me, or is it actually destructive and toxic? Does it keep me caught up in toxic cyclical behaviors, or does it actually adds to the nourishment of my soul, of my healing and transmutation and ascension, transcendence? So you want these pleasures that you engage in to be healthy. You want your actions to be healthy. That's how you know if a person's sacral chakra is balanced, like, or whatever. Now, underactive sacral chakra is spending lots of time focusing on very practical things without enjoying the fruits of your labor, depression, impotence, decreased sex drive, lack of passion, creativity, energizing your circle. Hold on 1 second. A blocked sacral chakra could feel like a lack of control of your life. Right, so when you're balanced, you feel free to express yourself sexually, emotionally, and creatively. And then out of balance, sacral chakra is experiencing difficulty in adapting to change, so lacking the ability to be adaptable as well. Emotional instability, being vulnerable to emotional manipulation, all that stuff, too frequently, I guess, because we all unfortunately come across individuals who attempt to employ those type of behaviors on us. Sexual frigidity or guilt. And physically, these blockages can manifest in digestion and reproductive issues. And I wrote a note of chasteberry extract. That's really good for the reproductive system, especially for women. And that's a supplement that I take, that I recently started taking myself. But yeah, so now it's going into things that can help the sacral chakra. But I'm probably going to save that for another video since I'm already at an hour. Oh, so also I wrote down these two definitions, and I'm going to tell you why I wrote down these definitions. So produce, to offer, to view or notice, to give birth or rise to extend in length, area, or volume. To compose, create, or bring out by effort, mental or physical effort. And then reproduce means to cause to exist again, to to imitate, to present, oh goodness, what's going on with my eyes right now? Oh, to present again, to revive mentally. So, with that, taking that into consideration, with the whole tarot thing, right? So, you know how these storylines of the karmic, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, or these never-ending storylines of, this energy that's just like this constant runner chase, right? This runner chase energy, or this person not seeing your worth and treating you as such, or they're moving too slow, or they're out, playing with other karmics and, try to, just keep you on the shelf and shit like that. And then how they're having these realizations and you should be patient and wait on them. And, all of this, just it's very limiting. It's promoting limiting behaviors and beliefs. And it's very toxic to a person's sacral chakra, as well as your mental stability. Definitely your emotional stability, because like I said, you can be very vulnerable to being manipulated emotionally when you're watching tarot. You get what I'm saying? Because you're putting so much faith, you're putting more faith in these, other people and what they're saying, opposed to your own intuition. And even if your intuition is enlightening you on some things, some people would listen to the tarot reader and even toss out, things that your ancestors, your spirit guides, your intuition, told within yourself. Like, you'll toss that out because of what a tarot reader said, and then you remain in a toxic behavior just because they're reading, the current reflection of that person's higher self, opposed to what's going on in the physical, like what's happening in the reality, and how that's affecting you negatively, and how it's only adding to the blockages and limitations within the sacral chakra. Basically, it's like adding on emotional baggage, or keeping you from cleansing away that emotional baggage. So I'm going to read a portion now from Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. A very familiar text. No, I'm not going to read the whole book because this video is long, but anyway. The Sacred Mother's waiting hand has been outstretched as she says, I am here. Just give your pain to me. Now this is, I'm going to just read it. And you've kept saying, no, thank you. I've got to hold on to it. I've got to hold on to it. I've got to keep holding on to it, even if it kills me. And then it begins to, with womb cancer or hysterectomies or radiation therapy, all caused by holding on to our hurts and pains. So many things have been done to our wombs without our conscious awareness, and some things were indeed conscious acts. However, now for us to grow and heal together, we have to be willing to risk exposing our ignorance of ourselves and any others who share our experiences in some way, so that we can all learn by sharing our experiences with one another. Now, this is referring to the womb. Centering into the womb means being able to look at our relationships with our body. From the center, we learn not to put our brain above our body any longer. We learn not to We learn not to numb ourselves to our real physical condition any longer. We learn to use every womb experience as a medium for growth. Every womb experience, whether that's emotional, or whatever the case may be. For if you cannot share from your center with yourself, then it's impossible to really share in union with one another. So once again, this toxic, culture that's formed in tarot land, because that's what I call it, tarot land, of keeping people in these cycles with people remaining in situations or attached to situations with individuals who are not doing the work. Therefore, that's stagnating energy. Why do you need that when the intent is for you to continuously ascend to your highest self? Because it's happening regardless. You either get with it or get left behind, And a lot of tarot readers are hoping that you don't get it because they don't got it. And they still need some funds and some energy to survive. Some energy to some imprints to put on. You get what I'm saying? So no. Everything in our life is here to help us, to give us strength and empowerment. Strength and empowerment. Everything in our life, including the divine tool tarot, is here to help us, to give us strength and empowerment. Not keep us in stagnated situations or situations that break our hearts or, put us in the energy of confusion and 2 of swords and 3 of swords and dealing with people who are in 7 of swords energy, No. That's your medicine, your story, and it's our medicine, the stories that we share. It's absolutely never too late to reconnect with your womb, your sacred center, and to become a lover and friend to yourself. We must first know what lies deep inside in order to heal or rejuvenate our sacred center. The womb misses nothing and knows the womb misses nothing and she knows all. When she speaks of pain, tumors grow. When she speaks of pleasure from the interactions of a nurturing mate, love grows. The womb sometimes says yes, but oftentimes she says no. When she yells and screams, the blood clots. Listen closely to your womb. Learn her language. Learn her language. Heed her message. For truth is the foundation through which healing takes place. All things come in their own right time. The more you cleanse, the better and easier the communication will get, right? Remember, your womb is alive, and you need to stay in touch. See what intuitive gems of wisdom await you as you discover yourself by bringing what's inside out. All conditions begin at the beginning, in the womb of your mother and all the mothers before her. If you start checking out the womb histories in your family passed down from your mother, your grandmother, and her mother and grandmother, you'll find that what's been going on with your womb follows some of the same patterns as with your foremothers. This is partly because of ingrained thoughts and attitudes, and partly because of the foods you've learned to eat from them, which is actually of greater importance. This chain of womb unwellness cannot come to an end until you realize that you're the only one who can change the whole energy pattern. Our power is to know all things, to know how to connect, how to tap back into that sacred place of empowerment. We do that to heal ourselves and to inspire other people to come to us to learn how to heal themselves. That's the difference between divine tarot readers and karmic tarot readers, right? Not putting so much of the focus on somebody else outside of you, but bringing that focus back to yourself, even if they do have to expose, you know, things to you, that's for your greater good. Understand that it's about you. It's for your greater good. It's not for you to remain and just you lurking out, you know, waiting for the next, you know, reading and stuff like that, or the next scoop on what that individual is doing. What are they doing? What are they doing with that other person? What are they doing? What are you doing in the meantime? What are you doing? Why have you associated so much more importance to somebody else's life and not your own, as far as healing that insecurity that you're holding within yourself? That insecurity of feeling abandonment, rejection, or whatever the case may be, or feeling like, you know, consider attachment styles. Have you ever explored that? You know, and I do apologize for the length of this video, you guys. I don't even feel like I said everything I wanted to say, so I'm just gonna have to continue on, right? Just whenever it comes to me, I'm just gonna have to make a video then, right? And post it. But yeah, we have to stop underestimating our intuition. And if we're at a place where we do underestimate, or we feel like, you know, someone outside of us, you know, has more of the answers than we accurately do, or we're unable to discern the difference between people who are infusing their own storylines with truth, you know, putting out half-truths. See, that's so crazy. When I was, look, illusions and secrets and deception, right? Moon card. Take note of intuitive messages. So, and then you see the phases, right, of the moon. Yeah. Now, before that, when I had separated the cards, I had seen the moon card and the water goddess card on both sides. See, like, it was a lot of moon energy. But yeah, like, even considering the laws of the universe, the laws of Mott, the principles of Mott, taking all these things into consideration when watching tarot or engaging in tarot. Because this is where this is its intended purposes, right? And this is, look, going within. And even that pose that he just went, a very powerful pose for boosting your sacral chakra is called the bound angle pose. Baddha Konasana. I'm going to show y'all what that looks like in just a moment. This is what that looks like. Right. So, I'm going to pull some cards regarding this message. Even, you know, with the Saturn and Aquarius and stuff like that, and how, you know, Aquarius is that unconventional, that ability to stand alone, or be the lone wolf, or do something that may not be the norm, what's become the norm for so many people, you know. You know, a lot of people used to be so big about being, you know, stepping out of the box, you know, doing things or to make themselves physically super different or whatever, to feel unique, opposed to, you know, going within, stepping within to manifest that uniqueness outwardly. It's not, you know, based all, you know, on the 3D. And we confuse a lot of those concepts, you know. Earth Mother, High Priestess. Divine and Loving Ancestors. What messages do you have regarding the message on how karmic tarot readers is disruptive to the sacral chakra? Because have you considered, you know, the condition of that tarot reader's womb? Are they putting out the snake? Are they putting out like the type of posts and stuff that promotes healing? Like, are they sharing their own healing journey and practices? You know, what evidence do you have that this person, you know, is doing the work on their own sacral chakra, healing their own sacral chakra, and see of, you know, intuition and creativity? Because if it's unbalanced, what exactly are they creating when they post, you know, when they, you know, take on these careers as a tarot reader? What is it that they're creating? Because once again, Neptune is in Pisces right now. Neptune is in Pisces right now. And then we got Saturn in Aquarius. Retrograde literally started on a Saturn day. It's getting real. Like, it's getting real intense, you guys. And it's definitely not something to be oblivious to. I'm just seeing the drum card, dream and journey. So once again, that Neptunian energy, you know, possibility of illusions. And you have to consider too, like, the times that we're in. You know, people are struggling financially and stuff like that, and people, you know, are desperate for funds, so they're willing to lie. They're willing to deceive you, you know, for financial stability. And you don't have to worry, you know, like, shit like that always backfires. But what you need to be concerned about is whatever entities you're exposing yourself to whenever you open yourself and invest your emotional energy, you know, weaken that barrier, you know, by listening and following these individuals. You know, you have to listen to, once again, that self-navigator like I talked about the other day. All right. Final Loving Ancestors, what messages do you have regarding? What messages do you have? Do I want to keep these since they fell? No. Wow. Yeah, so shapeshifters. Transforming and unveiling your gifts. Now, what I got from it, though, and how it relates, to karmic tarot readers. People misuse and abuse their gifts all the time. You know, I was saying in the discerning karmic readers from divine readers video that anyway, I was saying how we all have like general innate abilities. Like, we all have like physical innate abilities, just like we have spiritual innate abilities. So we have spiritual gifts. Everybody, you know, anybody can read tarot, but I don't mean like Daisy said, they have the clearance to do such things, because people are not, you know, in a healthy state to even be doing so. Yeah, so we got the shapeshifter, elder, move beyond ancestral patterns, and star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. I'm sorry. But follow the voice of your soul. This wasn't for nothing. And trust. You have to trust. Trust your intuition. You have to trust yourself as well, that you are protected. Like, it's there to protect you and guide you and navigate you. That's what it's there for. You see those peacock feathers on her head that resembles eyes as well. And then even going around it, it's like the moon or the sun, right? Yeah, because you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. It's all interconnected. And then we also have Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. Now this is just what's on the bottom of the deck, but we have Shapeshifter, Star Ancestor. Let me show it to you. Follow the voice of your soul. Move beyond ancestral patterns. So we're completely aware of sorcery. We're completely aware, you know, how people use their gifts for their own selfish reasons, or how people become conduits of evil due to that lack of healing and trauma, or the type of behaviors that they engage in because of an underactive sacral chakra, or overactive sacral chakra, whether that's, you know, addictions and stuff like that. Engaging in illusions, because once again, keep in mind, Neptune is in Pisces right now. Neptune is in Pisces. And this is the age of Aquarius. Now, once again, we're talking about tarot. We're talking about tarot readers because we gotta dead this shit. We gotta dead this shit right now because it's not gonna live on. So anybody who's drawn to this message, or anybody that you can share this message to that needs this, you know, it's easy to kind of just, oh my God. The Moon card and the Devil. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. Then the Ace of Cups. See, no, like, I'm gonna put those back. But you can't make this shit up. Please, divine and loving ancestors, should clarify. Clarify Shapeshifter. Clarify Shapeshifter. I'm going to keep those. So the Fool card and the Star card came out. Aquarius and I believe Aries. Now, with Aries, you know, Aries is known to be like that impulsive energy, the head starter, fire starter, initiator. And then the star card is the Aquarius card, which I feel like it's just emphasizing that awareness that's required right now in the age of Aquarius. Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Truth, right? Yeah, transformation. You know, putting a death to that bullshit, man. No, because this is where we're going. This is what's emerging, right? Like a new Atlantis type shit. Clarify Star Ancestor. Clarify Star Ancestor. The Queen of Swords. No nonsense. Facts. Cutting through illusions. Getting to the cold hard facts of what is, right? Follow the voice in your own soul. You know, and you have the sword of truth within you. You have the sword of truth. You don't have to rely on someone else's, like, okay. Clarify the Elder. Clarify the Elder. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Doing this shit strictly for funds and not giving a damn about people's true, like, condition within themselves. Like, soul healing. This is what it's supposed to be, for soul healing. This is what it's supposed to be for. And shit is crazy. Like, pentacles for some fucking pentacles. That's an opportunity to make some damn money. No, it's not cool. You have to be able to tell the difference, you guys. Those people who focus too much on materialism, materialistic, all about appearances, competition, keeping up with the Joneses, comparisons, you know, that type of energy. Like, no, 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 no. Then the King of Swords is on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so, no. Eight of Swords. And I'm going to pull from another. I'm going to pull from another deck. Yeah, I am actually. So I'm going to pull from Daisy Ozum's Master Spiritual Warfare deck as it relates to this message. And I do apologize for the length, you guys, but it's worth it. Root chakra on the bottom of the deck. Spirit and then purify. Wow. Alright. Divine Loving Ancestors. Divine Loving Ancestors. Can you clarify? Can you clarify the shape-shifting energy over here with the Star, the Fool, and the Ace of Swords? Can you clarify this energy here? Wow. Water therapy and mirror. Bottom of the deck, banish. Prayer and affirmations. I love the ancestor. Could you clarify Star Ancestor and Queen of Swords? Star Ancestor and Queen of Swords. Mental health. A lover on the bottom of the deck. And spirit. So self-love, you guys. Like, not this is understand how you're being emotionally and mentally manipulated with this what are they doing? Or oh, hold on, he's coming back to you. He finally realized, he finally realizes that you're the one, da 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 da. And you know, even though your heart, you know, your intuition has already told you to release the situation. Oh no, wait, no. Trying to, you know, dysregulate you and, you know, fraction your mental state, your mental stability. No. It's not cool. It's not cool. Now that came out for the Follow the Voice of Your Soul and Queen of Swords. Yeah, cutting off those energies that's supportive of toxicities or unhealed behaviors and patterns. Entity attachments. Let's see what's gonna come out again. Yeah, like, understand that demons are going to infiltrate anything that's a good thing, has the ability to, you know, serve a good purpose, a divine purpose. They're going to infiltrate. So once again, what entities, what attachments, you know, are on those readers' sacral chakras, you know? Divine and loving ancestors, could you clarify Elder and Page of Pentacles? Fire magic and sacral chakra. I'm keeping it. Sacral chakra on the bottom of the deck, and then banish again. Well, if that don't damn solidify the message, I don't know what will. Yeah, like, people, they're making a career. They're making a career out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I was on the bottom of the deck. Making a career out of this shit. Spell work. Energy harvesting. While we wouldn't expect spiritual attacks at work, right? These are these people's job, and it's a spiritual practice, right? So we wouldn't expect that. While we wouldn't expect spiritual attacks at work, it happens. Gossip is a form of attack as well as, and that's just a misuse and abuse of the Mercury energy. Communication, right? Communication devices. Or just the tongue, right? Misleading, misdirection, whatever the case may be. Gossip is a form of attack as well as tarnished reputation. This card indicates that a co-worker, boss, business associate is attacking you. The main cause is jealousy, competition, and fear of your ability to succeed. So, you guys, that's with the Lover card. Like, this is sick. And once again, entity attachments. That is fucking crazy. Look. You see that? Entity attachments. And what is it next to? Finances. And then elemental healing. These individuals are conduits of these entities that's manipulating your water, your emotions, right? For financial reasons, selfish reasons. Right? People have made a career, literally made a career. Pay attention to the pattern. Pay attention to these so-called readers just popping up all over the place with the same approach. With the same approach to tarot. The same damn approach to tarot. Right? DM of Karmic, Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with visiting that, here and there. It should not be the main focus. It should not be the basis of their channel. You need to question that. You need to heed to your intuition and stop giving your power away to these individuals. Fire magic. Stop giving your power. If I told you cords. Cording, binding, and spiderweb attacks are energy attacks that are designed to merge the energy field of two individuals together against free will and to bind an individual's energy to a low vibrational force. The goal is to restrict the Sacral Chakra. The goal is to restrict the energy centers in order for control to happen more easily. Stuff like that it just really it just pisses me off, Shit is fucked up. Anymore. Wow. So, yeah, you have to be mindful of what you're listening to, what you're constantly listening to, watching all these individuals' videos and stuff like that, what you're listening to, because sound affects energetic beings deeply, easily. That's why there's a such thing as music. That's why words is sound itself. this form, and you know, sound is an element of air, you guys, which is the mind. So once again, considering age of Aquarius, as well as, you know, Neptune and Pisces, and just saying. Okay, I think this is all I'm gonna, yeah, elixirs and mixtures. I think this is all I'm gonna pull from this deck. And I want to pull from the Ancestral Healing Oracle. And some messages regarding, yeah, so mental health recovery. Reclaim your second brain. Reclaim your mental energy. And once again, we have two brains. Your sacral chakra, as well as your womb space, as well as your actual mind, your brain. So recovery. This is what tarot should be geared toward. This is what divination tools should be geared toward. Your health. Recovering from the abuse, the manipulation, the rejection, the confusion, the mental mind fucks and mind games, and, you know, the heartbreaks, the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords. This is what it's supposed to be used for. Hell, if you need to, invest in your own cards. Invest in your own cards and do tarot on yourself. Do tarot on yourself. Legacy. Societal factors. Transformation. And faith. And I'm just looking at the cards on the bottom. Now, you also have grandmother, right? Once again, going back to considering your maternal bloodline and all that they may be harboring, or the resentment that they hold within their womb space that's, you know, affected how they would normally behave, or how a healthy attitude would normally be within them and stuff like that. Intuition. You know. Sorry about that, you guys. All these damn distractions, right? Yeah, crown chakra. That was on the back. Because remember, we had these at the front. Your legacy, societal factors, transformation, faith, and grandmother. So what do you want to leave for your legacy as far as the women in your bloodline? You know, it has to start with someone. So will it start with you? Will it start with you? Trusting, you know, and actually doing the work and healing your sacral chakra and clearing your sacral chakra so that, you know, you can manifest the ability to use your own intuition throughout, you know, to govern yourself throughout life, or enhance your creativity, your emotional stability, you know. What legacy do you want to leave? Do you want your daughters to be so debilitated within their sacral chakra that they have to rely on outside, you know, resources just to navigate? Just to navigate through this life? Like, no, it's not how it's supposed to be. Not how it's supposed to be. If anything, you guide an individual, you know, to how they could also enhance the enlightenment within themselves. Transformation again, okay? Like, it's time to get out of that. It's time to transform, you know, from that. Yeah. So, it's time to recover. It's time to recover that second brain. It's time to recover that second brain. You know, get into that fire belly. What's good to enhance your sacral chakra? Ginger. What else? It's like, I know, but it's like, I don't know why I'm having like a brain freeze right now. I guess because I'm being conscious that this video is so damn long. I'm so sorry. I did read somewhere about Damiana. Alright, so herbs for the sacral chakra is ginger, licorice, cinnamon, hibiscus, black cohosh, fennel, calendula. You know, the list goes on and on. So you have various options to choose from, you know, if you cannot, you know, get access to one, you know, there's going to be another one available, I'm sure. And once again, that yoga pose, the angle, let me see, which you can just do that for at least 1 to 5 minutes. The bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. So you could just Google that, but I did, you know, show it earlier in the video. And the benefits of this pose: stimulates the heart and improves general circulation. It helps relieve mild depression, anxiety, and fatigue. It soothes menstrual discomfort, and it helps relieve the symptoms of menopause. Stretches the inner thighs, groins, and knees, and because we hold a lot of energy in the hip area, the pelvic area in general, because you know that's where the sacral chakra, the uterus, is located. So as women, we have to be very conscious of that. And also wearing the color orange, visualizing an orange light surrounding your sacral chakra energy, or within your sacral chakra, and expanding that light within your sacral chakra, just so that it fully illuminates orange. Wearing the color orange, like my orange sweater today. Eating oranges. Stones, yeah, crystals for sacral chakra. Citrine, tiger's eye. Did I make a note of that as well? Carnelian, coral, moonstone. And remember I said, I had mentioned how the thickness of the Earth's inner core was 1,230 to 1,530 kilometers, adding up to 6'9" as above so below. So pay attention to the Earth as well, and how you can make associations or weigh similarities of your own womb space, you know, or yourself, you know, as a woman, and your intuition, your creativity, your emotional stability, and Earth. You know, it's a lot we can learn from Earth, and not just that. Earth can help us heal that energy as well, especially when there's so many aspects of the universe that's connected to our womb space. Like, we literally are universes within ourselves. We are many universes within a universe, especially the womb space, because everyone has to come through us to come into this world, to come into this reality. They have to come through our womb, right? This video is almost at 2 hours, you guys. I just can be a little, I plan to be more organized with this message. So, but yeah, also lighting orange candles. Even the flame, visualizing an orange flame, or meditating and focusing on the flame of the candle, that orange flame of the candle. But I did want to go back to this real quick. So, mind you, water therapy and the mirror card came out for the shapeshifter. What these, you know, the true intentions of these karmic readers and stuff like that. Yeah, so be mindful of people, like, okay. A mirror spell mirrors back any and all current attacks and future attacks back to the sender. Those attempting to harm you will have their actions and plans turned back onto them. A mirror box or a mirror jar. Visualize. But, okay, what I got from this, though, is that screens are portals, right? So that's something you have to consider, too. Platforms are portals. But screens are gateways to those portals. So when we're constantly watching these people, you know, yes, your energy can be harvested through the screen, y'all. And there's another way that I'm hearing this now with the Aquarius, the Ace of Swords, and the Fool. You know, the Fool also signifies a new beginning. Ace of Swords is truth, right? And then the Aquarius, the water bearer. So once again, like balancing those elements, you know, to your benefit, you know, that intuition, truth. With that Queen of Swords, when it said follow the voice of your soul, and also with the transform and unveil your gifts. Yeah, you have to transform out of this idea that all the answers, or, you know, the answers are more so outside of you than they are from within, you know, or the answers that come from outside deserves more faith and, you know, emphasis than the ones from your own, you know, soul, your own sacral chakra, seat of intuition. Alright, so I'm gonna get off this, y'all, because like I said, I didn't mean for it to be this long, but I really hope the message that I'm trying to communicate here really comes through. I'm gonna go back and watch it myself, because I don't know, I just really feel like it probably came off like I'm just all over the place. Unikite is also good because it's a good stone for the moon, related to the moon. So, but right now I have carnelian, and I'm going to do a little sound healing before closing out this video. So my intuition leads me to truth. My body works for me and with me. My chakras are designed to work for me and with me. I have the answers that I need deep within. I trust my intuition. I am aware of what I need to heal within myself to clear my sacral chakra and enhance my intuition and creativity and emotional stability. I have the ability to discern deception from truth. Alright, you guys. So once again, this is your girl Kritek, and I love you. Once y'all already know, if I got anything else to say, I'm coming back with another video. And I really appreciate those who did sit through and watch the whole thing. Please do leave feedback, like, and subscribe, because even if you're beyond this message, you know, share it and, you know, like it so that the algorithms can reveal it to those who really need the message. All right, I love you guys. Thank you.